Let's dive in and have a look at what this does. This is a new video as we've now got updated features here. So when you open it up, you'll see your dashboard, okay, where it'll show you your opportunities, the value of those opportunities if you have put a dollar value in, and then the conversion rate of those. So it's a pretty broad summary of your pipeline there. If you don't see anything there, it may be that you can select multiple pipelines. So it's got all pipelines. You can select a certain pipeline to see the relevant statistics. You can also change the date by this field here. I'll make sure I actually start using my mouse here so you can see what I'm clicking on. Okay, so you can change those fields there as well. Now, let's have a look at how you'll actually be using the application. So primarily you'll be using this application to manage your conversations on the go. However, you can also do a number of other functions, including booking appointments, which can certainly be very, very helpful. So, first of all, if you have multiple locations, you can use this little hamburger icon up the top here to select which location you want to look at. So you just hit that side button there and then use this drop down to select which account you want. Right, other than that, that will actually bring up the menu button of conversations, opportunities, appointments, contacts. However, you can also access those same functions by these buttons down the bottom. This is the home, this is the dashboard. This little button is for the conversation view. This little dollar sign is for your opportunities pipeline. This button here of the calendar is for the calendar. And this last one here is the contacts view, right? So let's go through these one by one, how this works. So your conversations view, as I mentioned, will be where you'll use the majority of your functions. So in that is where your messages will come up as they come up. So there's now an unread tab on the left. So anything that's not read, so a new message will pop up here. That's the default view that will open. Recents will show you all conversations where someone has actually written back to you. And all will show you all messages, whether they've had a response or whether it's just been messages that you've sent out. So generally you'll be using the recents or the unread tab there. And then once you select the message, you can click on that. So this example conversation thread here, you can see I can actually scroll up and I can see the whole thread of conversations. As you can see, this is just a demo account. It's a lot of the messages the same, but you'll actually see your individual messages to your contacts. This first button, first of all, you can actually just type a message down here. You just click here and you just type the message, and then hit enter to send, or hit the little airplane button to send it. That's how you actually reply there. The buttons on this page, this little envelope will either mark the message as read or unread, depending on what its status was beforehand. And so if I want to leave it as unread, I can hit that. This little button here will archive the message. You probably don't need that function. And then this little phone button here, you can actually call the contact. So you can click this, it'll actually open up a phone call. So note that that will actually trigger a phone call, which runs from this number, which is linked to your Twilio account. So that will incur call charges on your account. So I know that a lot of people using this software just choose to use their own phone, but you can if you want. If you want to use that facility, you can just call out from the app itself. The next one is these three little dots here. So you can click these three little dots here, and that'll open up View Contact. And then this is where you can do a number of things with the contact. So if we have a look at that, you'll actually bring up the contact information about their name, email, phone number, their address if it's there, any tags that they have, and then a couple of important features of active campaigns and past campaigns. So what this is showing is any automation sequences that they're in. So a couple of things you can do here is you can add them to a campaign by clicking this add button and then selecting the relevant campaign. And the other one is you can cancel campaigns. So if for some reason you wanted to pull someone out of an automation sequence, you just hit this blue X here and that will cancel out of it. That's it for here. There are buttons here that you can send an email. The yellow button, return to the SMS conversation view with this purple button, and green again calls out for them. So let's go, and then of course you can edit it there as well, right? So, and yep, and you can also delete them. Assign user is if you wanted to assign a certain user. So if you have multiple team members and you actually run a system where people are responsible for individual leads, you can assign a user via that step there. Okay, so I'm going to go back out of this view now here and go and click on down the bottom. No, I have to go back again. Sorry, to get back to my menu, I'm going to go back again. and now I have my menu options down the bottom. So the next one across is the $, which is your opportunities tab. So in this tab, you can manage all your leads. Now, if you don't see anything here, it could be because either you don't have any leads yet, or this little funnel icon here, you can change which pipeline you're looking at. So in this case, in this demo account, they're actually in this introductory program one. So now if I close it, I can actually see my leads here, and I can just swipe across on my phone to see all the different stages here. Just like the desktop app, I can actually click on these tiles to open up the opportunity card and see, what their status is, the owner, where they're at, all the details, etc. And I can go back. So that's it for the opportunities view. So that's just an area where you can basically click on the card and add any tags or update the status or the stage of pipeline that they're in, right? So I could, for example, change the status to 1 if they've signed up. I can just go into my mobile app and I can do that there. Or I can leave it as open. One thing to note is if I do change it to 1 and I hit this green tick, hit this tick to save it, you see I actually disappear from the view here. I need to go down to my menu here and change the view to status all. So what that's doing is it's allowing me to actually see all the views. So now if I close that, you can see now I can see that's the 1, because by default it only shows you the leads that are in the open status. It doesn't show 1, lost, or abandoned. Okay, so if you change the status and you're wondering where the card goes, that's why. If you want to change the stage of an opportunity, like say it goes from a lead to booked in, what you can do is basically hold and drag them across, right? So I can, if I hold on this, I'm actually using my finger now, I can now push it across and drag it to where it needs to go. So I've actually attended, I can put it in here and then let it go. So I'm just using like a hold and press gesture on my phone to do that. And that's it. And so that's how you manage your opportunities. Again, that's probably something you'll do on the desktop more. But the other one that you may do here is booking appointments. So this is one of the new features that you can now book your appointments on your mobile. So when you go to the appointments view, I'll show you another account who actually has appointments. Second. So for example, this will show you all the appointments of the month. So if I'm in August, or if I skip back to July, I'd see the appointments from July, okay, and then I see my appointments and I can sort of go down and see all the appointment times there, right? Anything in gray is basically what's populating from your other funnel, but in blue, it's for that particular appointment type. So if I put this to video interview here, for example, I can see in blue, I'll actually have one. Oh, there you go, there's a couple there, for example, right? Everything else in gray is appointments, but of a different type. So that's how you can view your appointments, but the important thing is how to make appointments here. So, sorry, before I show you that, I can actually click on a particular day and jump straight to that day. So I can click on 26, it will show me the 26th there, for example, right? All right, and then I can just either hit the month to go back to the top up here, and then I can change the month as I need to, whatever I want to see. But look, honestly, you're probably going to be coming in here, you're going to click to see, okay, what are my appointments today? But the other function that you'll use is the plus button here that shows you how to actually add your appointments. So if I click add here, then it brings up this field here. So very important here, when you type in the contact name here, you just need to put in like their first name, and then it'll provide you a list to show up, right? So for example, I put in Matt here. It brings up a number of things, so you've got to pick the correct one, and once you choose it, it'll autofill all their information in here. So just like the desktop version, it's important that you use an existing contact to book this appointment in. You then select the type of appointment that you want, and then the date, and then the time slot, right? So for example, if I did this one here, I could then select the appropriate date, and then it will only show me the available time slots, right? And then I can book it in just there, right? So I book that in. You can leave everything else as is, and then hit this tick button up here, and that will actually trigger the appointment. And that's how you use the add appointment function on your phone. So this is a really helpful thing if, for example, you're running your conversations view to answer the questions. Someone might actually tell you, okay, this is my actual phone getting my reminder. I'll just close that. For that demo call. Yeah, so I can see it, most likely you're just going to be flicking between your conversation tab and actually booking your appointments in here. Now, if you do need to edit a contact specifically, you can actually just go to contacts and you can use this search function here and just type in the name their first name, find whoever it is, and then you can go back to that view that you saw earlier when I went to the contact view via conversations. So from here, then I can edit, I can add them to campaigns, I can remove them from active campaigns, etc. And that's basically the mobile app. So a couple of points to note with the mobile application is that you can always change whether or not you're getting notifications like your phone is beeping by going to your settings area on your phone and editing in apps the settings for the application. And if you get a reminder to update your app through our program or something like that, because we've pushed out updates, it's a matter of, again, going to that settings area on your phone. It's different if you're an Android or an Apple phone, and basically updating the app, whether or not you go back to the Google Play Store to hit update on it, or whatever it is that you do if you have an iPhone. As you can see here, I don't. I have an Android, but it's a very similar process where you just need to update the application. If you can see there's something here that you don't have, it just means you need to update the application. So that's it. So I know that's a fairly rapid but also long video showing you all the features of the mobile app, because it does do a lot of different things now. If you have any questions at all, feel free to hit us up, in the support group, or via the other methods of contacting us for support.